Setting the clutch on an XS650. It's handy to use an air gun with a 12mm 6-point socket to release the nut. It's often stuck on there with age. A quick brap on the handle will release the nut to set up the adjustment. An ordinary Phillips screwdriver, a 12-inch wrench with an offset makes it much easier to set the nut tension. Back the screw off, and I didn't actually release this, but back the screw off till it's loose. Take it in until you've got good solid resistance, that you can feel that you're actually starting to push the clutch in. Now back it off maybe 1/8 of a turn. The factory manual and a lot of DIY say a 1/4 turn. I think that's a bit much. You just want to get all the tension off of so that you aren't actually pushing in on the clutch push rod. And that's just enough. Like I say, all the way in. Do you feel solid resistance? Back it off about 1/8 of a turn, then tighten the nut. Do not use an air wrench to tighten the nut, just an ordinary wrench. Trust me, it will be plenty stiff. Before doing this adjustment, the clutch adjuster up at the perch lever should be completely released. In other words, this should be turned all the way in tight. You want to set that adjustment up from this adjustment should be all the way in tight. You want to set that adjustment up at the clutch, down at the engine with this release. After you've made your setting down there, then run this nut out until you have just a little free play before you actually start activating the clutch lever. And this would be, now I'm actually squeezing enough that I can actually feel solid resistance. I've got maybe 1 inch out there, maybe a little bit less. And of course, anytime you're working on an XS650 clutch, you need to have removed the side cover and removed the ball worm mechanism. Make sure you've got your little ball bearing inside the ball mechanism, and completely disassemble, clean, grease, lots of grease in there. That's kind of a lot of friction in there and a very dirty area. The grease helps to make it operate more smoothly and also helps keep dirt out of that area. And here's the motion. You can see that there's a little bit of wiggle. This is a bike with coming up on 30,000 miles on it. I'm not sure if that's the original worm mechanism in there, but they do tend to wear. You also, when you have it apart, want to look very carefully that there are no cracks in the nylon. It's not unusual to find a cracked nylon. You will never get satisfactory clutch action if the nylon is cracked. It just allows it to spread too much and won't get enough motion. You can see how little actual motion you get out of this clutch action. That's it for now.